Hey kids, LeAnne here with happymailbyleanne.com. Today I'm going to show you how to stamp step by step. So let's get into it. The first thing that you need is a stamp pad. I'm going to use this Memento Tuxedo Black for all of the stamping that we're doing today, just to make it easy and to show you. There's several different kinds of stamps. There's wood mount stamps, there's acrylic stamps, there's polymer stamps. So I'm just going to show you a few of what I have that I like. I'm going to show you what I like, not what I don't like. The first thing is a wood stamp. This stamp is a reflection stamp. I think it came from Michael's. I'm not sure. It was a gift, but on a wood stamp, one side has a sticker that shows you what's on the opposite side with the rubber, and there's a little foam padding between the rubber stamp and the wood that gives you a little cushion. So what you do is you ink up your stamp, choose your placement on your paper. You know, do I want to put it over here? Do I want to put it over here? Do I want to put it in the center? We're going to use the center. And I'm just going to hold it level with the paper and push down. And then push on it. Don't rock your stamp. If you move it around this way and this way and this way and this way. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing with my hands on the video. I don't know if it shows. But if you rock it like that, you risk getting the edges on the image. Okay, there you go. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. That's so true. I would pick you. After you stamp, it's really important that you clean your stamp off. So I have a chamois here. This is from Stampin' Up. You can just use a rag, a paper towel. I don't like using paper towels because I don't think they do such a great job. But the chamois is wet. When it's dry, it's hard. The chamois is wet, and I just rub my stamp on it and get the ink off, and we're good to go. I'm going to show you a technique here. This is a Stampin' Up stamp from 2003. And you can see the little swirly images in there. It's a solid stamp. I'm going to ink it up the same way, but I'm going to make a background with it, and I'm going to stamp more than once. And I'm going to move my paper around. See how it gets lighter? The more you stamp, the more times you stamp, the lighter it gets. This is a great way to make backgrounds for yourself. I'm going to stamp that off over there because I don't want another dark one. Stamp it off over here because I don't want another dark one. And there you have an Insta background. Isn't that fun? I'm going to clean my stamp off. Now, I'm going to show you how to stamp a big stamp. You know, what do you do? I saw, LeAnne, I saw how you do a little stamp. How do you do a big stamp? This is a rather large stamp. I don't know where this came from. It says made in China on it. It was a gift. And so I don't know the manufacturer or anything. So I can't link it below to show you where I buy it. I can try and find one. And if I find one or something similar, I'll link it. But because it's such a big stamp, I am taking my ink pad to the stamp. and just covering it, pouncing it down on the stamp and going over every inch of the stamp so that I get nice and inked up, because I don't want to stamp it and like miss ink here or miss ink here and not get a full image. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go straight down and press. You know, they make those I don't know what they're called. It looks like a little handle with a block of wood and some soft material on the bottom of it that you can rub over your stamps. You use them with Mistis and a Misti is a stamp impression tool. I'll show you. I have a Stampin' Up! One. It's not called a Misti. It's called something else. Stamp-a-majig or something like that. But I need one of those. I tried at one time. Have you seen the paint? Like, they're square, they're rectangle and have a little handle, and they're fuzzy, and you use them to apply paint to the corners to cut in. I tried using one of those once and it didn't work. Okay, oh, see, not a very good impression. I don't know if you can see that. It's got some blank spots there, so I didn't get a good impression. What do? Flip the paper over and try again. Not a big deal. You know, there are no mistakes in stamping. It might be the ink pad I'm using too. I might need to switch to a juicier ink pad for this particular stamp. So, you know, it's trial and error. I've been doing this since 1990 something, like 92 or 93. So I've been stamping since the early 90s, and I still have oopsies. It just happens, and it's just paper, so it's not a big deal. Okay, I huffed that, which means I went on it with my air, with my breath, to make sure it was nice and moist. Now I'm gonna stand up and push on this, just to get a good impression. Let's see if that made a better impression. Oh yeah, much better impression. So, and see how it's darker over here than it is in the center? I think that's just the nature of the stamp. Sometimes that's how it goes. So I'm going to clean that stamp off. Now, I told you I would show you different kinds of stamps. I'm vigorously cleaning my stamp. It made the whole table shake. I told you I'd show you different kinds of stamps. So let me show you. This is one of my favorite stamp sets. I'm going to use an acrylic block. I think I've shown you this clear stamp set before. I know I've used it in previous videos. I'm not sure I've put the video up yet or not. But this is a clear stamp. Let's do the word hope. With a clear or acrylic stamp, or not rubber, polymer stamp, you use a acrylic block, and it doesn't really matter what side. My acrylic block has a grid on it. I don't know if you can see that, but that's to help me line up so that I can get the words or the stamp straight on there. So I'm lining it up with this line, and hopefully it will be straight. You just slap it on your acrylic block and then go to stamping just like you do with a wood mount stamp. The beauty of this is that you can see your placement. See, I can see exactly where I'm putting that. And I'm just going to push. Yeah, I really need one of those things to push, to apply pressure. Because this is hard for me. And, oh, voila. Hope. I hope you have lots of hope. And I hope you find joy in what you're doing with your life. Okay, not to be too philosophical. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let me show you my stamping apparatus. I think this is called a Stamparatus. It's a Stampin' Up product. But what you do is you put your paper in. Put your paper in. I'm going to put mine in the center. Usually I put it up in the corner, but I'm going to put this in the center because of the kind of stamp I'm using. And those magnets hold the paper down. And then this is a darkroom door quote stamp. If you never try, you'll never know. And I chose this stamp on purpose because if you're not a stamper and you're thinking about stamping and you're afraid, I want you to know that if you never try, you'll never know. So you need to just give it a shot. Now, there's a paper backing. I think this paper backing is supposed to come off. Yeah, there's a paper backing on here. You got to take off to reveal the rubber side. And let's see if this works. Sometimes these don't work very good. These aren't my favorite kind of stamps. So you can apply it to an acrylic block or to your stamping tool. And do you see how I just laid it down on the paper? That way I get my placement right. If I tried to put it over here first without putting it on my paper first, there's a chance I could have misstamped. But putting it on the paper and then closing the lid, I know that it's going to be in the right location. So again, I'm going to take my ink to my stamp. I've never used this stamp before, so I don't know how well it stamps. Sometimes when you stamp with a stamp, the stamp has skips and misses, and there's nothing you can do about it. Certain companies will replace the stamp. Sometimes not. Just depends. But if you use a thicker ink on a stamp that has a skip, generally it will remedy it. So I just closed the Stamp-A-Majig. I don't know if I'm calling this the right thing. I'll have to look up the tool and call it. Most people use a Misti. A Misti I'll link a Misti below so that you can, oh, there you go. If you never try, you'll never know. I'll link a Misti down below so that you can look up what a Misti is. And if you want one, you can go ahead and purchase. It'd be great if you would purchase from there. That helps me. Yeah, that's Stamping 101. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I will answer them. I will link as much of the stuff I have. See, now I'm cleaning this stamp. I'll link as much as the stuff I can find, or similar items I can find, in the description below. Hit the like button, smash that like button if you like this video. Give me a subscribe if it's something you're interested in learning more about. My next few videos are gonna be process videos. What I mean by that is a video that I show you how to make a card, but I tell my story and I talk about my life more than give instructions. Just showing my process, because that's the fun of this channel for me, is showing you my process and telling my story. I think that's about all I have for right now. Thank you for watching. These are all the different things we stamped today. Hopefully that answers some of your questions about how to stamp, what to stamp. The great thing about stamping is the ink comes in a rainbow of colors. You can do any color that your heart desires. In another video, I showed embossing techniques. I teach how to emboss with any color, any kind of ink. So check out that video. I'll try to figure out how to link it to this video so you can just click on it. I don't know how to do that yet. So I'm learning, guys. Be patient with me as I learn how to navigate this YouTube world. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And like always, if you love me, share.